out on the bottom of the racetrack mowing the grass. And then there are other guys right up next to the outside wall. You can race all over this place. And these guys were so much anticipating getting on the racetrack, getting back behind the wheel after 3 weeks off. Are you kidding me, Regan? And getting with it, but we're going to have to wait.
Well, going to have to wait, but when they do get out there, you touched on the main thing, Michael. All over the racetrack, top, bottom, middle. They're going to be chasing rubber, different things all night long, and where they can go. By the way, they're going to be nervous now because they may not have any laps, or maybe they will get some laps. Right now, they are begging this rain to get out of there so they can get some laps.
Well, we're talking about playoffs, too. I mean, we're counting down. We only have 3 races remaining until the playoffs kick off. So there are a lot of nerves, a lot of guys that it's go or go home. You see it right there. The guys in yellow, they are locked in. They're breathing a little bit easier right now.
And you got a guy like Ty Majeski, won the past 2 years here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. 38 points to the good, right? But if we get a winner below that cut line, all of a sudden he is out. So he wants to get out there. He wants to know what his truck's going to do tonight to find out if he's going to be able to go out and dominate or if they need some changes.
What about a wild card? We're going to have some rain tires if we eat them tonight. That could mix things up. It's going to be all over the place. What a great show it's going to be.
Absolutely. We've got Ross Chastain in the field. We got Butterbean in the field. And we're going to step aside right now. But, you know, when it clears up, we will be back. We'll bring you all the action right here from Lucas Oil Raceway Park. Until then, on the backside of the break, we'll take you back to Lime Rock a few weeks ago. Truck Series Racing. I'm Jamie Little, joined by Michael Waltrip and Trevor Bayne. And what you hear us talk about historic. We're finally here. NASCAR's going truck racing. Take us through the layout of this place. There's so much history, but we're going to set our own history today.
Absolutely, Jamie. I have loved watching these truck drivers learn this racetrack for the first time this weekend. Lime Rock Park has a little bit of everything. When we look at the layout here, you're going to see a lot of technical areas as we get into turn 1 and 2, known as Big Bend. It's a real sweeping corner that sets up that left-hander and then the right-hander through 3 and 4. You need to connect those together as you get into Paul Newman Straight and to the uphill in turn 5. We're going to see trucks getting light over that hill as they crest, coming back down into turn 6 and 7. Some faster corners that set you up for that long Sam Posey straightaway, Michael.
What a crazy racetrack. So much fun. Great job explaining exactly what this thing looks like, Trevor. But if you're a driver, the challenges are aplenty. World-class road racer Jordan Taylor goes down into turn 1 in qualifying. And look, watch him. He locks up that right front tire. That's how hard this place is. He's won at Daytona. He's won at Le Mans. He's won all over the world. But that's one challenge here. Andres Perez going to the uphill turn number 5. Inners looks pretty good. Look at that exit, just barely hanging on to her, hanging that rear end out. And then it's a downhill, turn 7, onto the front straightaway. And look at Brent Cruz. He had to get away from him just there, and that was on a qualifying run. Can you imagine what it's going to look like when we got all 36 of these trucks out here together doing battle?
Something they haven't done. We're going to talk all day about how narrow this place is. So much action ahead, so much to see. We've got road course ringers. We've got our regulars. Let's get things started. Let's go trackside for opening ceremonies.
Here to give the command for the inaugural Leuna 150 at Lime Rock Park, please welcome from Leuna, General Secretary and Treasurer Michael F. Sabatoni.
Thank you. Welcome to beautiful Lime Rock Park. On behalf of the 530,000 proud, strong, united men and women of the Laborers International Union of North America, our General President Brent Booker, Vice President Regional Manager Dan Bianco, and our General Executive Board, thank you for having us here today to sponsor this beautiful event. It is with honor and pleasure that I say God bless our troops, God bless the United States of America. And with that, I would like to say, drivers, are you ready? Start your engines!
Well done. 34 trucks are fired. We'll make history. We'll wave that green flag from Lime Rock Park. That's all coming up next. 100 laps ahead. behind him, touching, beating and banging.
We're going to see that all day long, Jamie. Look how those two trucks side by side fill up the whole racetrack. Great action, great shots. That's the left-hander, the only one on the track.
Now they work their way up through the Paul Newman straight, uphill, into turn 5.
This is my favorite turn, Jamie, the uphill.
I'm speechless still. We just made it through turns 1, 2, 3, 4 without anybody off-roading there, Michael. I did not see that coming.
Well, get ready, Trevor, because as the laps roll on, these truckers tend to get a little wilder and wilder. We're going to see a lot of off-track action, I guarantee you that.
Look at Daniel Hemrick taking a peek right now. Hasn't had the best speed, hasn't had the best truck since we've been here, but he's trying to make the most of it early here.
As you see these drivers go down the front stretch, this is the first time they've been around other vehicles. In practice, you can see everything. Now you have 20 other trucks obstructing your view. Where's my braking zone at? How do I figure out this corner that I've only got 20?
Looking for a place to go. Is he going to go 3 wide? Wow.
Perez showed some strength this morning, guys. Fastest in that first group in qualifying.
I like what I saw out of Andres there, though. He tested the limits a little bit, and he saw, hey, this is not going to work out being 3 wide. I'm going to settle in, and I'm going to go back after him. He knows he has a fast truck, really fast in practice. Lap 1 on the track, as you mentioned, qualified well. Now he's going to take his time and work for it as he challenges that braking zone down into turn 1, looking inside of Chandler Smith.
See Thomas Annunziata in that 07 truck, another road race guy. Just getting used to the truck. He's going to be solid all day long. Picking a winner, I mean, you got to take Corey Heim. He's been dominant all season long. But darn, Trevor, there's going to be a lot of challengers that Corey's going to have to turn away if he's going to win this race.
Well, Michael, we've seen even on the ovals for Corey Heim, you can't just mail it in at the end of stage 2. He's won so many stages and been set up to win, gosh, 12 of our 14, 15 races so far, and then he's only won 5.
Yeah.
What happens? You get a flat tire, you get used up on a restart. I can tell you if there's a late race restart, Corey is not going to want that with how things have gone for him lately.
Well, this is the 15th race of the season. Corey Heim, he's led in every single one of them. And you mentioned stage wins. He has a whopping 12.
And Jamie, the last 4 2-second stages, he's won all 4. So when it comes down to go time, he is there week in and week out. What a job he's doing in that 11 truck.
Well, and how about our top 4 guys? We mentioned it in the rundown. You have 2 regulars, Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, and then you have 2 road course ringers, Jordan Taylor, Brent Cruz. They're all learning something new. Some are learning the trucks for the first time. Some are learning
right now trying to find his way around the 7 of Jordan Taylor.
What about Jordan Taylor, world-renowned road course racer, and the kid, 17-year-old Brent Cruz, just hounding him right now. I think he's a little bit faster than Jordan.
Such a competitive series, Michael, and then you add in just first-timers, then the veterans that have been here for so long, those road course aces. We have 16-year-olds. We got a 63-year-old. We've got it all for you.
Trevor, you talked about simulation and how much work, preparation, engineering-wise goes into these trucks, these race vehicles, and then the drivers doing their part online, racing this track, doing all the studying they can do. That's a huge part of racing these days.
Absolutely it is. I mean, ideally, if you could come here and race something else, Gio Ruggiero came and ran a TA2 car here. We mentioned Jordan Taylor's won a couple races here. Brent Cruz working on it. But if you can't get on the track, the best thing is to get on iRacing, to get in your simulator with your team with the support you have, and make as many laps as possible. How can I get more used to the visuals? You see right there, Caden Honeycutt tracking out wide using every ounce of asphalt through turn 5. I can't wait till we settle down a little bit and we can start showing some of these shots as we see Caden Honeycutt attacking on Ty Majeski through turn 7.
Oh, Britt Cruz off the road a little bit again, it looks like, up ahead of him. And look at Raja Caruth in the 71. Can he sniff away to get him 3 wide as they head toward Big Bend? And now Ty Majeski has to give up that spot there for the most part. This Big Bend is a long sweeping corner, and even if you don't want to give up the spot, they're going to push you wide. Now with Raja Caruth, though, he can contend here through turn 3. Raja's set up for the right-hander, though. Is he going to be able to keep enough distance there to fight for that spot? He is doing just that, battling for that position.
The only left-hander on the course. Look at that, a little contact. Raja Caruth on the hunt. The 98 of Ty Majeski, our defending series champion, hanging on. This is a battle for 6th.
And it is just that. That was some precision driving through the left-hander and the right-hander. Wow, let's take a look at that again.
Yeah, and the 98 there is struggling through turn 7, setting up that pass by Raja. Let's see what we
Here's
have
our
on the
leader, Corey Heim, going wide.
That tells you that they're just running right on the edge, Trevor. We see it every week with the trucks. These races are quick, they're short, and you know you better get it while the getting's good.
Yeah, and right now, you know, if you drop a tire off the asphalt, not that big of a penalty as long as you're going straight. As the race goes on, more and more and more trucks do that. They drop a tire off. That rut is going to get bigger. The consequences are going to get worse. But that turn 7, we saw Ty Majeski struggling through there. That is one of the most important corners on the racetrack as we head down the hill to it now, because that sets up the passing zone in turn 1. If you cannot get up this corner here with Lane Riggs going through 7 and get back to the gas early, here creep to it, you're going to get somebody attacking every time as you get down this long straightaway.
Riding on board with Lane Riggs. You see his view, looking at the leader, Corey Heim. It's a great day to be at the racetrack. It's all about the kids, all about the families. What a great day from Lime Rock.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking about our honeymoon. What about Africa? Safari. Swim with elephants. Hot air balloon rides. Lions growling in the giraffes that come in through your window. Wait, can we afford a safari?
Great question. Like everything, it takes a little planning.
Or put the money towards a down payment?
With enough room for a baby?
Babies.
Baby.
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Christina Ladd posted at McDonald's, thinking about how I never had a snack wrap, and I'm devastated. Imagine tasting the snack wrap for the very first time. In ranch or spicy?
The itch and rash of moderate to severe eczema disrupts my skin. Despite treatment, it's still not under control. But now, I have Rinvoq, a once-daily pill that reduces the itch and helps clear the rash of eczema fast. Some felt significant itch relief as early as 2 days, and some achieved dramatic skin clearance as early as 2 weeks. Many saw clear or almost clear skin. Plus, many had clearer skin and less itch, even at 4 years.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers including lymphoma and skin, serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events, infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your dermatologist about Rinvoq.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Mom!
When this happens, they count on you.
Like an entire tree fell down onto my car.
Are you okay?
Don't stress, sweetie.
You got USAA.
And you can count on us.
They got you.
Okay, I just submitted it. Thank you.
I love you.
I love you, Mommy. Bye.
Count on us. Count on USAA. Members who switch saved an average of $840 a year on car insurance.
Ride the Baja Wave and refresh your senses with a blast of tropical lime flavor. Grab a Mountain Dew Baja Blast today. Do the do.
And welcome back to Indianapolis Raceway Park, where qualifying for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series has officially been canceled. There has been weather in the area, a little bit of rain, multiple lightning strikes within 8 miles. However, practice is still on hold. If we can get trucks on track, we'll bring you the action right here. For now, we'll go back to Lime Rock Park from just a few weeks ago.
Taco Bell's new crispy chicken tacos and burritos might make us a
That's to feel a little bit weird as he tries to work over Frankie Muniz down into Big Bend.
Well, Michael, as these tires have gotten hot and worn out, the lap times have slowed down tremendously, almost 2 to 3 seconds from what we saw in practice. So now that delta from the leader to those 30th place trucks is not very big. It's within a second, so it's going to make it tough for him to pass even a truck that's not, you know, in the top 5 or top 10. It's going to be hard, and it's narrow here, so he's got to be very patient as he works through these trucks.
Nice pass. He gets around Frankie Muniz and puts him 1 lap down.
Frankie just watches that 11 truck shoot across the uphill turn there.
You see what Corey Heim has done this season. 914 laps and counting. It's incredible what he's done. He's led every lap so far today, all 25 of them. Working lap 26 here. The end of stage 1 is at lap 35.
And think about the types of racetracks we've been on so far this season. We've seen super speedways. We've seen short tracks. We've seen racetrack revivals like Rockingham and North Wilkesboro. Intermediates, road courses. He's been able to lead on every single one of those in multiple laps. That's not off of pit strategy. It's not off of staying out under caution. Like, he's legitimately that fast on every type of racetrack.
Connor Mozak in the 81 running 7th now. Had a great run a week ago, finished 6th. What are you hearing so far, Josh?
Well, Jamie, when you talk about drivers that excel on road courses, Connor Mozak is on that short list of the Truck Series regulars. And I talked to him about that, knowing that there are 2 road courses left in the regular season. And he said, look, there is pressure on me to perform and win one of these races, whether it's this one or Watkins Glen. But he said, I enjoy the pressure. He came over the radio a little while ago saying he likes the truck. The team told him, despite running right now in the 7th position, he is one of the fastest trucks on the track. It's all about track position. He's going to look to get that, but look for the 81 to be strong today if he can get that track position, Jamie.
Well, he's the fastest of the McAnally-Hilgeman Racing 4 trucks out there. Somebody touched the dirt there, made a mess coming out of turn 7.
Well, and we're 8 laps until the stage here, and I'm really curious to see who can make the right adjustments. We've talked about the drivers and their ability to adapt, but now the crew chiefs are going to have a chance to make the truck better for their drivers. When we get to that stage, feedback is going to be so crucial. I think we're seeing drivers like Jordan Taylor, Brent Cruz that have road course experience start to maximize their trucks to the fullest extent, and they see that 34 and 11 are a little bit better. Where is that at? How do you make it better, Michael?
And a young man like Caden Honeycutt, you know, you think of him as a short track racer. He's trying to figure all this thing, all those questions you just asked me, Trevor, he's trying to figure that out on the fly. And what a job he does week in and week out, maintaining that type of speed. Brent Cruz, another young racer that is just a road race ace. It's really cool to see these 2 worlds come together here at Lime Rock Park.
Brent Cruz, the 17-year-old from Hickory, North Carolina. I mean, they start racing so young. He's probably been racing since he was 4. I know he was racing Trans Am cars at 14, and he's coming up through that pipeline and just getting it done. Cruz running 4th.
Yeah, that one truck is bouncing a lot. I don't know if you saw that there on that shot through turn 1, but it looks like they have a lot of control on that right front shock. Something just looks a little bit unstable for him. You see it there as he hits the curb. You want that truck to recover when you go over a curb, and his is not doing that, I don't think, to his liking right now.
When they come down pit road, what kind of adjustments can they do, if anything, to help that?
Well, this is a little different this weekend, right, Jamie? You have a controlled break that we will have for 3 minutes. It's not going to be our typical pit stops. This is a standalone event for the Truck Series. They are away from the Cup and the Xfinity Series this weekend. So NASCAR decided, let's make these uncompetitive. We will come down. You won't lose your position. So in that 3 minutes, you have way more time than you would typically have in a 16-second pit stop to work on maybe shocks, maybe work on some rebound or some compression, some little things that might help the ride quality of that truck.
Those engineers on the pit box, Jamie, are just wearing those computers out right now, asking it questions. What's the tendencies? What can we do if this is a scenario our truck's faced with? And Brent's done a great job all day long. And I know, Trevor, you've been in touch with him about what his truck's doing, what his challenges are, and that's exactly what he's dealing with, a bouncy truck.
There was a battle for Chandler Smith with himself. He was sideways coming off of turn 2.
Battle for 7th with Raja Caruth.
Chandler's got a lot of speed here. Started off practice this morning a little bit slow. I was worried about him, but man, they've regrouped. He's faster right now than Raja in that 7th position.
Chandler Smith, one of the guys used to race in the Truck Series, did not like road course racing at all until he went to Joe Gibbs Racing. Something clicked for him. Now he's with a different team this year, and he's embracing it. I think you have to have a good attitude, or you're going to beat yourself if you show up and say, I hate this.
Absolutely, and something I'm seeing even more now, Michael, is these drivers are learning how to pace this next 35-lap run, because we are 4.5 seconds slower than the pace that they qualified at. That is tremendous for fall off at a 1.5 mile track. I think some of these drivers, like we saw Chandler Smith and now Jake Garcia, they might have gone out like a rocket, but now this truck is ill handling, sliding around. You see Ben Rhodes and Matt Crafton right behind him there trying to figure out their trucks as well. But maybe there's some pacing involved. Maybe I do need to save my brakes and save my tires a little more this next run.
A couple of 3 teammates here doing battle, and a couple of those teammates are champions of this sport. So Jake's doing a good job of leading Ben Rhodes and Matt Crafton as they race inside the top 20. But I'm telling you guys, how competitive are things? You would expect any one of those trucks could be leading this thing. That's how deep the field is here in the CRAFTSMAN Truck Series.
Beautiful looking Thor Sport trucks as they're all over Andres Perez, Spire driver.
Here's the big hop off that uphill turn 5.
Just love hearing that.
I do too. Hear those motors scream.
Woo!
Matt Mills.
Did you just put your hands in the air, Michael, as we went up over that like a roller coaster?
I feel like I am on a roller coaster. That's fun.
You haven't. I did the woo for you that time. I feel like every time we look at that, we get some sound effects.
Look at this battle. Spencer Boyd, we know he had problems early. Now he's all over Frankie Muniz. Go on board with Frankie and see if he can hold off Spencer, as here comes Jordan Taylor making making the pass to put these guys in his rearview mirror.
Jordan Taylor right there running third.
Brent Cruz is now in that frame as well, right behind Jordan Taylor. He's closed that gap to within a tenth. See if he could try to get by him through this traffic here. That'd be big for Brent to be on the inside of this next restart if he can make it there.
Watch this big dive. There you go. Down into Big Bend, takes that inside road.
Jordan Taylor's so used to running around other cars, multiple series running in the sports car world.
Multiple speeds too. There's different engines and different rules for different cars, and you got to figure all that out. Jordan's doing a nice job here as he battles in the field.
And we see Brent right there with him within a truck length now. It's one thing to catch someone, but now to make this pass. We saw the one truck struggle in turn 7, which we said is a very important corner in qualifying, went off the track a couple times there.
Coming out of the downhill, turn 7, 2 laps to go in stage number 1. Teams.
Cool. Sorry, Jamie, how cool you think it is for Brent Cruz to be looking out the windshield and see he's battling with Jordan Taylor, one of the best road racers in the world. He's right on his hip.
Yeah, and I look at Brent and think about a Connor Zilic, right? They just storm onto the scene at 17, 18 years old and start winning races. Where did that come from? What have they been doing? And I talked to Brent about that, and he said, you know, him and Connor have grown up together. They've raced together so much. He's about a year younger, but was always kind of right behind Connor in their progression. So I would definitely look to him to be this good on these road courses.
And this is a stepping stone, a development series. You use the ARCA Menards into the truck series, Xfinity, to get to Sunday racing. Connor Zilic, you just mentioned him, doing a fantastic job, won the race last week in the Xfinity series. But Connor still stays in touch with these guys like Brent Cruz, gives them advice, helps them out, because these guys want to be racing on Sundays.
Big deal for Jack Wood here, not wanting to go a lap down before the end of this stage, doing everything he can to keep Corey Heim behind, but he's going to go right by into turn 1 there.
Corey Heim, our leader, final lap of this stage.
Jack didn't get to qualify, so he started out back and has made a little bit of progress, but you can see he just got eaten up there by Corey Heim. Now he just hopes Corey doesn't go past someone else so he can get the free pass.
Yeah, and obviously all these slap trucks in front or slower trucks are trying to stay on the lead lap, but as soon as you cross that start-finish line, your mind instantly goes to, how can I take advantage of this next restart that'll come up after our break? All the lap times are within a half a second of each other after about 20 laps with these tires.
And there it is, the green and white checkered flag in the air for Corey Heim, who picks up his 13th stage win of 2025, coming in hot.
Still just sliding that truck off that downhill turn and takes the green and white checkered.
He led every lap here in stage 1. We'll step aside. We'll have pit stops. Does the 11 need anything? You sure he's going to ask for something? Corey Heim getting it done in stage 1.
It's Miller time. For 50 years, Miller Lite has been there. And
Me. If you're Heim. Would you call this a walk in the park since we're at Lime Rock Park for Corey Heim?
Like he couldn't stop it.
Yeah, sometimes when you lose a tire like that, it'll cut a brake line. You have no pressure on the pedal to be able to slow it down.
Been watching the battle for 9th. Thomas Annunziata and Brent Cruz right here. It's been fun to watch. They've been slicing and dicing back and forth. And we're going to see more of this later if you want to see a little more racing, because we have a lot more for you. 4 o'clock on FS2, the ARC Menard Series race. These two will be going at it, and Annunziata starting on pole.
Brent Cruz second. They've got the front row, so be a good battle.
Oh.
Matt Mills
You
off
just said
track
it.
once again.
Why'd you have to bring Corey Heim into this, Michael?
Well, it's happened repeatedly this year. Late race drama. I don't think Mills is going to get going.
I don't either. He's stuck there. You see the rear end trying to get some traction.
He's on the lead lap until this off-road excursion.
Mills was 24th at the time that he went off-road, and the caution is out. This is the first caution we've had for incident. Not what Corey wanted to see.
Nope.
The third official caution of the day.
Off of turn 1. That's those tires I mentioned from my off-road excursion there for Matt Mills. Once you drop a left side off in turn 1, it just, sometimes it feels like it picks up speed through the grass until you get to the tires. That's where Grant Enfinger went off in qualifying.
So now what?
See if we can see what happens. Oh, wow, straight off the road. Think that's a brake issue, Trevor?
Brake or the lack of braking at the right time. I'm not sure, Michael, if he was locked up going into it or if he just didn't have enough brakes. Jamie, you say now what? Now you reset. You get your mind right for another restart. I don't believe we'll see our front guys come and get tires here because we've seen how difficult it is to get track position back. The leaders, we mentioned trying to take care of those tires. You don't need a 7-second lead. That's exactly why you saw Corey taking his time. Didn't need to extend that lead. Take care of it as much as we can. Now he's going to restart on the bottom again. Hopes he get a good launch and has that leverage that he's had every time through turn 1 on Lane Riggs. But Lane wants to stay on the outside.
We're under caution for the third time today. Just 10 laps to go from Has been in the area, so qualifying was canceled, but the good news is practice is coming up at 4 o'clock Eastern, just about 15 minutes from right now. We'll have one group, all trucks. Once again, practice coming up the top of the hour. Until then, we'll send you back to Lime Rock Park from just a few weeks ago.
Two summer sensations are flying into DQ. One is sure to save the summer, and the other, yeah, he's Superman. Hurry in for the new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat, right now at DQ.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's, is now available with the all-new Big QP, fries, bottomless chips and salsa, and a bottomless drink, all for just $10.99. So if you're McDone with tiny, overpriced burgers, just come to Chili's. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
If your grandpa wears one of these, or if your wife
don't want to run over that. If you don't choose and you run over that orange arrow there, it is a penalty to go to the back. So these drivers, if I see somebody doing it, I'm going to go ahead and make my choice too.
Andres Perez, talked about him quite a bit between practice yesterday, qualifying this morning. The driver from Mexico City, Mexico, made his Xfinity debut just a couple weekends ago at his home track. That was pretty exciting for him.
How exciting was that for Suarez?
Oh my gosh.
That's so cool that he got to celebrate in his home country.
Got to go to Mexico City and see that for these guys. And Daniel Suarez said this, just being here is as big as contending for a championship. And I'm sure Andres Perez was thinking the same thing, Caitlin.
Yeah, certainly was. Had a chance to talk with Andres about his rookie campaign. He said it's been up and down. He said, I often felt like I deserved better finishes than what the scorecard showed. But he felt, of course, very confident coming here based on all of his road course racing background. But you guys were talking about the fact that he's from Mexico City. He said, I actually spent the greater portion of my career in Mexico, and I had to come here, learn the language, learn the culture of the United States. He said, it hasn't been easy, but I do feel like my efforts are starting to pay off. Jamie?
Yeah, when he was running full-time in the ARCA Series, he was flying back and forth racing in a Mexican Truck Series championship and going to school. He was doing it all. He won the championship in ARCA last year, and now here making a name for himself in the CRAFTSMAN Truck Series. Choosing it up.
For real this time. Wonder if anybody picked different this time, Michael. I think I messed that up the first time.
It was just practice.
Practice.
See if we can get a picture-perfect restart here for Corey Heim. Got to execute.
Tires, get them cleaned up. A lot of rubber on this racetrack. Want to make sure you don't do anything to get wheel spin here.
Be 5 laps to go.
Down turn 6.
I know Corey Heim has dominated, but it certainly has been fun. There's so much to watch, so much action on a road course.
And here we go again.
And we're going to see more of it now. Corey Heim on the inside where he has restarted all day long, leans on Lane Riggs on the outside. They're fanning out behind him.
Oh, in the dirt.
Sam Posey straight all the way down into Big Bend, turn 1.
Give the advantage to Lane.
They lock him up all over the place.
Oh, he locked it up, and around goes
Jordan
the 7.
Taylor in the grass. It looks like Raja. Chaos. That's the most we've seen on a restart today. But look, Corey Heim runs away.
See Andres Perez coming back on track. Jordan Taylor blending back in. It looks like everyone got back going except for Raja.
I haven't seen Raja yet.
Have some damaged trucks after that restart.
Oh, Brett Cruz off. There's Raja Cruz coming back on.
Wow.
Shuffling, and just like that, Corey Heim, Ty Majeski into second, Gio Ruggiero.
Keep in mind, that was the first restart we've seen on old tires. They've been on brand new tires every time, and when you go into turn 1 expecting a certain amount of a grip and you don't have it, you're going to slide a lot more, and that's been the case all the way around the racetrack.
Look at this top 5. Ben Rhodes up to 4th. Cam Waters, the Australian,
Gio Ruggiero, 3rd.
Well, Ty Majeski, he's second. What a crazy restart.
Check this out here. You see the 34 of Lane Riggs gets in deep, and everyone kind of follows him down in there as he locks up as they check up. Just everybody getting into everybody there.
Raja all the way toward the fence. Let's see what Frankie Muniz has seen here.
Probably a lot of dirt and dust flying, if I can imagine.
I think the spotter's saying, back her down. We got a mess up here.
Ooh. Saw Jack Wood sitting in the middle of the racetrack.
Nice job by Frankie.
Trucks all over. Middle of the racetrack, on the left, on the right, and we stayed green.
Lane Riggs all the way back to 13th position after that missed turn 1. Josh Balicki in the 44, he's up in the 7th spot. Just a big mix-up after that restart, but nothing's different at the front.
But Ty Majeski earning a few spots on that restart.
Look at there, still slipping and sliding though, Trev.
Absolutely.
Majeski would like to see if he has anything for that 11 truck. Hanging tight with him right now.
I'm so impressed by 4th spot Ben Rhodes. He just maximized on that restart. Did he really gain 12 spots just avoiding the chaos?
Remember when they were practicing choosing? He chose right. He chose right.
He chose.
There's Ben Rhodes.
Nice run for the 99 truck.
He lives in Kentucky, your home state, Michael, and he was, I talked to him this week. He was driving up to Sandusky, Ohio, where his team is based. He goes up there every week. He said, we're getting creative with our setup. Don't know what to expect. Road course racing isn't his favorite thing to do, but heck, what a run.
Well, and this is Ben Rhodes. He always seems to be able to find a way every year, even in the playoffs, to just survive and make it to the end of these. And it's paid off again for him today. We thought we were going to see this thing play out pretty calm, but obviously a late race restart in a Truck Series race.
That's craziness. You're going to see it every time.
But Corey Heim just continues to dominate here. A lap and a half to go. And Gio Ruggiero.
Nice job for Gio again.
20 years old, just 2 spots behind his teammate, Corey Heim. There he is.
Going to take the white flag this time here, Jamie.
Corey Heim will be relieved to see that fly in the air. Once you take the white flag, the next flag will end the race, whether that's a caution or the checkered flag. Final lap for Corey Heim.
I'd like to say, you know, maybe he backs her down just a little bit on this last lap, final lap, but the last lap he was 0.2 faster than the field. So no backing it down at this point for that 11 truck, just executing perfectly.
Corey Heim, the 22-year-old from Marietta, Georgia. Doing unbelievable things, rewriting the record books and laps led, stage wins, domination. We talk about him all the time. He is going to be a Sunday racer next weekend. He will be.
And I believe already, Jamie, he is a Sunday guy that's racing on Fridays and Saturdays.
Absolutely, he is. And there it is, down the Samposi Straight. Checkered flag is in the air for the 16th time in his career. He does it. Corey Heim wins the first race at Lime Rock Park.
See his dad there on the box at the racetrack every weekend supporting his son.
We mentioned his crew chief, Scott Zipadelli, grew up in this area. How big for him. The first time this series races in Connecticut, and they get it done. Happy day for that race team.
Well deserved execution from the time they set that truck up, put it in the trailer, hauled it to Connecticut till the checkered flag fell. Everything was perfect.
Michael, it's been about a year since these guys have done this. Road course racing, turning left and right, and Corey Heim picked right up where he left off.
Looking at the rundown there, a lot of things shook up in that final restart, Michael. We saw Thorsport really take advantage of that, getting the 98 of Ty Majeski, Ben Rhodes, 66 of Cam Waters. They got 3 trucks inside the top 5 on that last one.
You know, people always say, you guys talk about Corey Heim an awful lot. Well, he doesn't give us an option.
Help it? How can you help it?
Brent
Great.
Cruz with a nice recovery. We saw him slip back midway through the race and got a nice top 10 finish there. And we talked about Hemrick and Ankrum not running like we thought they would, but late in the going, they got it going.
Look at that, 16th career win. That makes him the 3rd all-time among active drivers. And the youngest to reach 16 Truck Series wins, a record that was held by Kyle Busch.
What a day at the races.
Gonna have some fun. All those fans been sitting and watching from the grass hills. Just doing a nice long victory burnout. This is beautiful.
Corey's saluting those fans right now, Jamie, wanting them to get on their feet and cheer. And you can hear the crowd going wild, enjoying this wonderful NASCAR event for the first time in Connecticut.
Corey Heim credited with leading 99 laps today. Lane Riggs was given 1 lap for that quick pass on him.
The restart zone, he got going before Lane did, but he overshot turns 1 and 2. Lane wound up finishing back in 13th position.
Yeah, and you can imagine the frustration there, just trying to get everything he could. He knew that he had to have a fender in front of Corey Heim as he got into turn 1 there.
If you're the team, don't you appreciate that Hail Mary he threw? He just got on the game. He did his job, just overdid his job a bit, but you got to go for it, and that's what he did.
Well, they know Lane Riggs is going to go for it. We've seen that proven time and time again. Last week it paid off for him on that late race restart with Carson Hocevar getting that win. But today, it's Heim time.
At Lime Rock Park, Corey Heim picks up his 5th win of the year. He parks it right on the start-finish line. All of his team there. The big congratulations. Well, Josh, what a day. As you mentioned, they didn't have to work on this truck. 0 chassis adjustments. They made 1 slight air pressure adjustment, and there he is. It is Heim time.
See Matt Pusha there. That
What
was my
a performance from. What a performance from Corey Heim out here at Lime Rock. Makes a little bit of history. The first one to win at Lime Rock and the first Truck Series driver to win 3 straight road course races. Corey Heim led every single lap, swept the stages. And Corey, I know this one was a special one for you to win. Your crew chief is from not too far from here. But what can you say about that performance?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing short of incredible, man. I mean, these road courses, I really look forward to them. You know, pre-event and whatnot, and prepare pretty hard for them. So to see that all pay off with Safe Flight truck on Toyota, super special. Obviously, the truck was so good today. Just can't complain one bit about that. You know, have a flawless day and take that move forward and try to collect some wins we probably should have had this year. 5th
win of the season for Corey Heim, Jamie.
Yeah, and Trevor has talked about just the way this guy prepares, and it's paying off. You see there Corey Heim on top with 5 wins. One 50-minute practice session now, all trucks. We were supposed to have 2 different groups. We were supposed to have qualifying. Qualifying was canceled, so Corey Heim will lead the field to green tonight for the 6th time this season. But this is good news. These truckers, they've been off for 3 weeks. They have been ready to get behind the wheel, and they're ready to turn some laps and shake things out. So we only have 3 races before the cutoff for the playoffs. There's Ty Majeski. He's been the man the last couple of years, but I'll tell you right now, this is the holdup. Trying to get that gate shut. Having some difficulty delaying us here just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I mentioned qualifying is canceled, so let's take a look at the official starting lineup for tonight, set by the metric. Corey Heim, a 5-time winner on the season already, will lead the field to green, but Ty Majeski looking for his first win of the season, starting outside front row.
Yeah, and I think, Jamie, as you look at that front row, how exciting is that going to be? Corey Heim so dominant all season long. Ty Majeski, though, 2 wins in a row at Indianapolis Raceway Park. He's the guy I think a lot of them are looking at and saying, we're going to have to beat Ty Majeski. That should be a fun duel. Row 2, you got Chandler Smith, who's been so good on the short tracks this year, and Gio Ruggiero next to him.
I'll take row 6 and give you all the rest. That's where Lane Riggs and Ross Chastain roll off from. I feel good about those 2 trucks being really fast tonight, but so many great stories throughout the field. Matt Crafton, can he get back to victory lane? He's been chasing it very, very hard, and see if he can get it done tonight. He starts inside the top 20.
See Stuart Friesen there in row 11. Stuart,
happy birthday to you.
There we go. And I wasn't going to do the singing. We'll let you do the singing, but certainly 200th career start and his birthday today, and then we get a little further back in the field and see some drivers that have a little bit of work cut out for them.
Yeah, a lot going on. Beautiful site downtown Indianapolis, about 7 miles away. Let's say hello to Mr. Josh Sims. Josh, it's been a long, hot day already, and we're finally getting things going here.
I know, the sound of the engines firing is the best thing I've heard out here today, but the second best thing, that has to do with Stuart Friesen, and you guys mentioned it. A couple of milestones, 42nd birthday today, 200th Craftsman Truck Series start today, and I talked to him about what those numbers mean and say to him, and he said, well, it's special, you know? He said 10 years ago when I got into the Truck Series, I was just happy to be here. Fast forward to today, and it's awesome to have a win under his belt, to be heading to the playoffs, and to still be doing it. I asked him, does he have another 10 years in him? He said, hey, Josh, slow your roll. How about we get to another 5 and we talk after that? But his first time here at IRP back in 2022, he finished in the top 5. Since then, he's been chasing that performance, finishing the 30s the last 2 times out here. So this practice session, very important for him in terms of making sure that truck has the handling and the speed that he needs as he gets this team, try and get this team, that is, back on track and try and add another win as they look forward to the playoffs, Jamie.
Hey, Josh, listen to this. Stewart's son, Parker, he said, Dad, I see more gray stripes in your hair today. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that the way kids warm you up to the fact that you're another year older? But Stewart certainly got a lot of racing left in him. What a great guy and what a great competitor.
Heck yeah, it was just a couple of races ago where Stewart found his way to victory lane at Michigan, that big win. What a relief for them. But there's Corey Heim, talked about the year. I mean, just breaking record after record after record for this young man. Picked up his 5th win of the season. Last race out at Lime Rock, and Regan, he didn't just win, he dominated, led all but 1 lap.
Yeah, and I feel like we can say that so many times this year for Corey Heim, Jamie. And when you look at the stats on the season, you just go through the list, and there's not a single one that he doesn't have covered right now, some of which he's broken already early on in the year, as we see Lime Rock a few weeks back. And man, know that he's got to love seeing that win both stages and the race. What a day it was for him.
And what a performance, and what a great event. The crowd turned out. It was so beautiful, and then some great racing throughout the day. Corey Heim taking the checker flag, but man, that trip to Connecticut, it was special, wasn't it?
What a beautiful day. All the families out. No grandstands at all at that racetrack. Don't know. Hopefully we're going to be back, because it was a great turnout and fun race, and certainly one that Corey Heim won't forget anytime soon.
Corey's 2nd quick so far on our scoring pylon. Grant Enfinger in the number 9 truck. Grant's a great short track racer as well. He's fastest so far. Youngest cat in the race, Brent Cruz. He's going to be driving that number 1 truck tonight. Watch for him. He's a really talented young racer. And look at that truck. I mean, just beautiful livery on that Mobil 1 truck, isn't it?
Brent did such a nice job at Lime Rock a couple weeks back and getting the top 10 finish. And he's a guy that a lot of people are very high on, very talented race car driver. And, getting out here on the short tracks tonight, going to be a lot of fun to see what he's capable of with the beating and banging these guys are going to do. And when you talk about a track, this track here, just one of the best, Michael, in terms of from a driver standpoint. You see him working around, trying to find the grip, trying to get the power down, and IRP is fantastic for that.
And he's doing all this at the young age of 17. NASCAR getting out there and mixing it up with some of the best, some of the future superstars of the Cup Series are going to be right here. And Brent Cruz wants to make sure they understand he's going to be around for a while as well.
Yeah, you mentioned Brent Cruz finishing the top 10 at Lime Rock. That was just his 2nd ever start in the Truck Series, so certainly a lot to look forward to with him. And there's Corey Day. His last time out, he jumps in and out of this series. He's jumping in and out of the Xfinity Series as well. But guys, he had a breakthrough race at Nashville, finished 5th. I mean, that was his best by a lot. Things just clicked there.
It really did. And Jamie, he started up front at Nashville and stayed up there all day long and did everything that you want to see a rookie do, right? He was learning. He figured it out. Maybe fell back a little bit early on, but then found his way to the front. And that's what you need. A driver like Corey Day, who's learning the asphalt racing, hasn't been on a lot of pavement tracks. You really like a performance like that for him, to where he's able to go out and learn and do the right things and get the result that also goes with that.
And it's just a great shot there. You saw Matt Crafton all the way down on the apron. That was the line he chose in that corner. You can just run all over this place. You can see the seams, the cracks, the variable banking. This place offers everything a driver wants. If your truck isn't working down low, go up high. If somebody's in your way, just go where there aren't. And what a great little facility this is. I love getting to race here at IRP. And back in the day, Regan, this was one of the biggest short tracks in America. You go to Indianapolis Raceway Park and get a victory, that's something you were proud to have on your resume. And those guys tonight, knowing that what's in town over at the big racetrack, the Cup Series and Xfinity, this is kicking off a wonderful weekend of NASCAR racing.
And here's a guy that knows all about that. Greg Van Alst, welcome back to the Truck Series from Anderson, Indiana, just probably 45 minutes from this racetrack. He announced that he formed his own team. They'll be running part-time in the Truck Series. Last time we saw him was a couple of years ago, guys, at Talladega. Bad wreck. He broke his tailbone.
Yeah,
so good to see him back. Got his sponsors on board, and we'll see him for a handful of races.
Dawson Sutton there making his way to the bottom of the racetrack, racing alongside there with Greg, but gets that position on the track and just continue to try to run faster laps. I think it's pretty interesting, Regan, of our first 11 or 12 trucks, they ran their fastest lap on lap 1 or 2. So that means a couple of things to me as a guy that raced here before. Tires are going to fall off, which means a lot of fun for us tonight. Anytime the tires go away quickly, that means you're going to see a lot of guys that maybe have a better setup after a few laps be able to charge toward the front. It's going to be a fun night.
And that's what we hear drivers ask for all the time, right, Michael? They want tire fall off. They want to have to think about it as they're maybe abusing their equipment or abusing their tires and trying to get a little bit more out of it. What's that going to do at the end of the long run, as we see Jack Wood right now in the 91 truck? But they want to be able to have to ration that out and figure out how they can maybe be a little more precise at the end of a run with their tires if they save them at the beginning. And we will definitely see that tonight. The other thing that does for the crew chiefs, if we get a caution towards the end of this race, there could be some decision time.
And we've talked to a couple crew chiefs today, Regan, and they all say, you know, it's pretty straightforward. But if, and that if is that late caution, how that could mix things up.
Welcome back to the Truck Series. Jordan Anderson, it's been a few years. His last truck race there you see in 2022 at Talladega. How about this moment? So scary, big flames.
Wow.
He physically got burned in this wreck. Remember reporting on this from the Infield Care Center. Scary moment for him trying to get out of that truck, engulfed in flames. Of course, Jordan has gone on to do great things, owns an Xfinity team. He's running 3 cars over there at the big track at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But now, guys, coming back as a driver in the Truck Series, you see it there. Look at all those burns.
I mean, I just can't believe he was halfway out of that truck when it hit the wall. He was able to, despite all the smoke he inhaled and the burns on his face, he was able to extricate himself from the truck, get on the racetrack where that truck burned beside him. And it's just really, he's such a good dude, man, and really a big part of the Xfinity Series. It's really fun for me to get to see Jordan get back behind the wheel and have some fun.
I think that's the main thing. And we know that Jordan's having fun when he's out there. One of the best personalities in the garage. And I don't think he's ever had a bad day. He's always smiling. And certainly I know a scary moment with the wreck at Talladega a few years back. But, man, it's great to see him back in the truck.
You guys are a different breed. Did you see what happened to him? And he doesn't have to come back. He has a full-time job running a race organization. But he is a racer like you guys. You always come back no matter what.
It's just it's the thrill of being out there in the competition, Jamie, and you know, being able to go out there and compete with your other competitors. We see Ty Majeski riding on board with him. I love this shot right here, and I think we're going to see a lot of it tonight. Unfortunately, he's coming into the pits right now, but that's going to tell a big story, as Michael, we talked about moving around and throttle control and what they're going to have to do to maybe manage tires at times or when the vehicle's not handling as good. And I think we're going to be doing that a lot with Ty tonight.
And I think it's interesting. He came to pit road only after 5 laps. He must not like exactly what he felt. The guys up ahead of him, led by Corey Heim, he ran 15 laps in a row before he came to pit road. Like I said, his second lap was the fastest and a fall off of over 1 second and 3/10 in those 15 laps. That's big.
There's Raja Karuth in the 71 truck, 18th on the board right now after 8 laps. Winner earlier this season. He is locked into the playoffs.
Right behind him, Lane Riggs is tracking him. Beautiful blue truck, number 34. You can see he's got a lot. Oh, see how crazy it is? That's when your tires start going away. Raja had that thing hung out.
And Raja coming off of turn 4 there was, you know, he's in the power. He's wanting to try and get the power down, stay in front of Lane Riggs and figure out exactly what he's got. And man, it can jump just that quickly as we look at it here. Right here at this moment, the back of the truck, right? You're trying to lean on that right rear tire, and he just gets a little bit tight with the front, and it gives it a little bit more steering wheel. When you got the power down all the way, when we talk about drive off the corner, that's exactly what we talk about. When that doesn't underneath you, that's what these guys are going to be fighting all night long, and that will not be the last one we see slap the wall.
Yeah, and I don't think Lane had a clue that was going to happen as Raja exited turn 4.
I see watermelon colors on this truck. Can only be one man, Mr. Ross Chastain.
Always exciting when Ross is in the field. We know that he will drive the wheels off of whatever he is in, and man, I just love Ross's passion for racing and the fact that he left the big track at Indy and now he's over here at IRP, hopped in another vehicle back and forth, and certainly, you know, what he means as a truck series is something else.
You could see him wheeling that thing too, just fighting that wheel up off the corner exits turn 2 down the back. Look at that dive in there. We're going to see that a lot tonight, too. Maybe a few sliders are going to be thrown at him tonight, Regan.
And as he makes that dive, Michael, you can see the vehicle almost change platform as to how it's riding across the racetrack. It won't change where he's at right now into that middle of the top groove, because the banking's very, very similar up through there. But when they do go down to that bottom, it gets flat down there. This is progressively banked at this racetrack, and that creates a lot of that side-by-side.
I like this cat. Gio's just done a nice job this year. Better, only 18 years old. Let's not forget that. Kicked off the season with that runner-up finish at Daytona, but lately just putting together strong run after strong run. I like where he's at as he fights to try to make the playoffs here in 2025.
Yeah, Michael, Lime Rock was a great place for him as well. Finished 3rd, and he's on the outside looking in right now, trying to make playoffs in his first season in the Truck Series. He sits 65 back right now in 12th. Obviously, we're in a kind of win and in situation. If he could get it done tonight, this would be a place for him. Short track ace. But you see there, the guy's above the cut line. Ty Majeski just hanging on there. He's in, but a win would certainly guarantee him a shot. Well, we saw Majeski out, and he came back in for a bit. What are you hearing, Josh?
Well, yeah, and you talk about Ty Majeski in that position where he's just 38 above the cut line. The good thing is coming here to IRP where he's won the last 2 races. You'd imagine they have a good idea of what the setup needs to be and what they need to do to come away with another win, but they went out during that first run. Ty came over the radio, said it truck is on the splitter. They came back in, made a couple adjustments, and he came back in right after and said, hey, I am still on the splitter, especially in turn number 1. Feel like he just doesn't have the left rear in the track. It's going up the track. So some work to do for this 98 team to get this truck where it has been the last 2 races here, guys.
Josh, look at the intensity. I love seeing through that clear visor. You can see his eyes. He knows this is his place. Won here the last 2 years in a row. Joe Shear Jr., his crew chief, gets this truck dialed in. So they're very happy they have this 50 minutes. Really, you know, you heard there, they were in the track with that splitter so they can make those adjustments and get them ready for tonight. Take a look back at his wins the last 2 seasons.
Look at that move right there. Just is able to cut that truck to the bottom of the racetrack and grab the lead and go on to victory. He's just an amazing short track racer. Regan, you and I chatted with him earlier today. He's feeling really good about his chances here. And why not, right?
I think I would feel really good if I was Ty as well. And interestingly enough, you just mentioned how that truck cut to the bottom, right? And how good it looked when he was passing for the lead there. We'll see it again right here, that he can go to the bottom and he can still get his truck to cut right in the middle of the corner. Well, something we just noticed on the in-car with him a moment ago there, he was doing that already in practice. He's working on that line. In order to pass, guys, yeah, you want to be up good in the main lane, and you want to be good when you're running up in the middle of the track and higher. But to complete the passes, you're going to have to be down lower, and I love what Ty was doing there. He was working around that. And the feedback to his crew chief, Joe Shear, about the splitter, about the left rear, all the stuff Josh just told us about right there, that is critical because that points them in the right direction immediately. They're not guessing, well, is it on the splitter or is it just tight because of something else? Ty's giving them exactly what they need there.
But he's right back to the pit and, you know, only ran 4 or 5 laps that time, so still not quite what he's looking for.
Well, Majeski got that win here last year, and we know what happened at the end of the season, guys. Champion. Hoping to do that again.
See the 0-2 right there of Jason Alexander, and a few moments ago when we were riding on board with Ty Majeski, you could see out the front of Ty Majeski's truck somebody got up into the wall. That can happen a lot here at IRP in terms of just maybe getting into the corner a little bit too far and jumping almost the cushion, Michael. There's a cushion up there right now too, and not many trucks have been that high up, so the track's going to be really dirty when you do that, but that's okay. That's practice. It's not a big deal right now.
So in the first segment of this show, our practice session, we've talked about throwing sliders. That's a dirt racing term, and you're saying he's jumping the cushion? What do we got here?
There may be some dust on the track. I hope there's not dirt on it, but certainly just an exciting track, and that's part of what makes Indianapolis Raceway Park so exciting. And Jake Garcia out right now for some practice laps for him, and currently 21st on the board right now for Jake. So trying to find just a little bit more speed out of that truck.
And he's had some great speed in this truck for Thor Sport. 2 second-place finishes this year. He's come oh so close, Michael. Those moments we thought this is going to be it, and that's why he is just outside that playoff right now. 38 points back, but no doubt, I think they've got the speed to get it done.
Spring and early summer, he was as strong as anyone, week in and week out. Then we've had this bit of a break. Before that, a couple of finishes outside the top 20, so they need to get back on track because he is in a position to be one of our playoff guys.
How about the 38, Chandler Smith? When it comes to short tracks, you guys haven't really mentioned him yet. Off camera, we were talking about who we thought was going to prevail, but Chandler Smith back full-time in the trucks this year. Already 2 wins this season, and guess what? They were both on short tracks.
Yep. And certainly when you think about North Wilkesboro, a place that he won earlier this year, some similarities to what they're doing here at Indianapolis Raceway Park and what they will be doing tonight. And you know, we talked a lot about Corey Heim and Ty Majeski. Chandler Smith's probably sitting there right now saying, not so fast, you guys. You better talk about me too.
See those 2 win stickers right next to his name? A little bit of news last week coming out of the McAnally Hilgeman Racing shop. That includes this guy right here, Daniel Hemrick, who won at the first short track of the year. That was Martinsville. They swapped teams, including their crew chief. So now he's working with crew chief Kevin Bellecourt. Josh Graham was new this year. He's now working with Jack Wood. So interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty, Jamie, of having the schedule the way that it is right now. We get this break, kind of this summer break in the middle of the season. And if you feel like you need to do something as a team to maybe, you know, step up your game or to get some maybe just different people working together, different ideas, you've got that opportunity to do that. And evidently, you know, I think the Daniel Hemrick and the entire team felt like they needed to do something there, and you gotta go for it, right? If you don't, and they've been good this year. Don't get me wrong; they've been top 10 consistently, a 7th to 10th place truck very consistently. But that, Michael, that won't win you a championship. So make the change now and have time before the playoffs to get ready for them.
You know, Regan, we love looking at all the data and the stats and everything we have at our fingertips here at Fox Sports. And this is the one that probably means the most to me at this point in the session. Bit of a broken record, I understand it. Corey Heim, the fastest, go figure that. But you can see right on his heels, Tanner Gray, Ross Chastain, Brent Cruz, and Daniel Hemrick, all in the top 5 of our 10-lap average. That's an important stat that these teams, drivers, they all look closely at that to make sure we got a lap or 2 speed. Do we have 10 or 15 lap speed? And you can see Corey Heim, Tanner Gray, the best right now, as you see that beautiful 15 truck of Tanner Gray as he works up off turn 4, slipping and sliding.
Tricon certainly bringing a lot of really nice looking trucks here this weekend. Every Tricon truck that we've shown has been a very good looking truck, and Tanner doing a nice job in practice.
And 3 of the top 5 are those Tricons.
That's not bad either. They look good and they're fast.
There you go. Look good, play good. You said it earlier.
29 minutes remaining in this one and only practice session from IRP. Grant Enfinger, fastest in Indianapolis.
can't wait to see him out there. And seen some old videos this week, actually, of Alex Zanardi making some dive bombs through the, I think they call it, is it the corkscrew there that they call it?
Corkscrew?
And oh, man, what a place, what a gorgeous venue.
But Caden Honeycutt, he's had an exciting time this off season, or this off, 3 weeks off, basically, last weekend. He tied the knot with his longtime girlfriend, high school sweethearts. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Honeycutt.
You ask all these drivers, what did you do during the off week? And I guarantee he's the only one that can say I got married during the off week.
That's
so
true.
Congratulations to both of them. And man, what a way to go. It'd be nice to give yourself a wedding gift with a win.
And the team surprised him with the just married, and you see the cans. You see dangling off the back of the car like they used to do back in the day. So congratulations to the Honeycutts.
A couple of third-place finishes. He's one of these guys, Regan, week in and week out. If he goes to victory lane, it's not going to surprise a soul. We can see third quick on the scoring pylon and really solid in the 5-lap average as well. Top 3.
And such a good short track driver as well, Michael, and would definitely not surprise if it was to happen tonight for him. Luke Fenhouse, another driver, Wisconsin driver that is just extraordinarily good on these short tracks, ran good at this race a year ago, and right now he's currently 10th right now in practice. And you see that truck hopping around a little bit as he gets off into at the end of the straightaway into turn 1. This racetrack is rough. You got to hit the bumps right. You want your truck to be handling, and man, Luke's done such a nice job a couple weeks ago, or more than a couple now. But Michigan got his first career pole and finished 3rd. I mean, what a career day.
Watch this, Regan. You talked about it bouncing around. Look at that. Ooh. Look how wild that looks, getting down into the turn. I wonder if that's on a plan. You know, sometimes you want those shocks to pull the front end down after it hits a bump, but that looks a little bit aggressive there. Maybe he likes the way that's feeling. He's 10th quickest on the scoring pylon. Certainly a really talented short track racer, knows what he's looking for.
Got to have some confidence knowing he finished 7th in this race last year, and he's a part-timer jumping in and out of this truck. He lives in Sandusky, Ohio, where this team is based, so he's always got his eye on the prize, but they share that ride. Looks like he'll bring it in, make some adjustments. Grant Enfinger so far fastest, Corey Heim second, Caden Honeycutt, Tanner Gray, and Gio Ruggiero your top 5. 23 minutes remain here.
And you see this shot that we're showing right now, and you know, the exit of turn 4 as well as turn 2, both exits, something we're going to watch all night. And you see right there, the truck just jumps a little bit sideways. And
that's fun for me to watch.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. The problem is, Michael, as we talk about tires, every time they do that, it makes those tires angry. They don't like it when that happens. And again, I said earlier on, this is an angle that I love. This tells such a story of this racetrack as we ride with Ty Majeski here, and just hear you know, what he's going to do with the throttle. And he's going to do the same thing that he did last time he rode with him. He's going to come into the pits.
Don't you think it's impressive, though, of our first 10 or 12 trucks, 7 or 8 of them ran their fastest lap on lap 1. That tells you how much simulation means and how much preparation these guys, as we watch Grant Enfinger, the fastest truck in this session, put in to come into this racetrack. They know when they hop on that track, the tires are the best they're going to be, and they're able to execute and run that fast lap on lap 1.
And a lot of trust from the drivers to the crew chiefs as we look at the driver who's quickest right now, Grant Enfinger, top on the board. And, man, it looks good right now out there, Josh. What's he saying?
Yeah, top of the board, looking good and getting better. At the start of practice, he talked about that truck just being a little bit free. They've worked on it, got it a little bit better. He said just a touch free still, but it's manageable, and they feel really good about where that truck is right now. So now they are looking ahead. They are planning ahead for the race tonight and trying to figure out what adjustments they are going to need for the race tonight. They have some time now to work on it, to figure out what they need. So they made some adjustments that they might be able to use tonight. They'll come back in, discuss it. But how important is that to be able to have a truck so good right now that you can look ahead to the race later, Regan and Mikey?
Hugely valuable right there, Josh. And interestingly enough, I talked to Grant earlier today, and he said, man, I really hope we're just a little bit on the free side in practice. If we are, then I feel really good about what we're going to have tonight, and had a lot of confidence in his voice when he was discussing that, Michael. But the simple fact that they felt good enough about the truck to where they can try adjustments to see what it's going to do to that truck later on tonight, that is a really valuable thing for them right now to have, you know, compared to maybe somebody who's searching for the speed in their truck. And that's a good sign for Grant.
Grant Enfinger, one of just 2 former winners in the field tonight, won this race back in 2022.
Check this out. Go back a few years. Grant working the bottom there off turn 4. Just a guy that gets this racetrack, and you just see it every time we come here. He just knows exactly what he's wanting, that feel he's looking for that he talked to you about earlier today. He knows what he's looking to feel, and he's finding it more often than not.
Grant Enfinger, surprisingly, he has not won yet this year. Looking for that first win of the season. It's interesting, 5 of the fastest 6 are winless this year right now and on times. Hey, look who it is.
The Bean.
Butterbean Queen leading the points in the ARCA Menard Series. He is slideways right there.
And that's the kind of correction that you hope to fix in practice. And you know, Butterbean out here getting to run this race tonight. It's the first time we've seen him in a truck in a while, and been having so much success in ARCA, and it appears both ends of the racetrack. Because turn 2 he was sideways also. May need just a little bit more grip out of that truck.
And man, what a performance he put on at Dover, huh? Running that ARCA race, just extremely fast. Everywhere he goes, short track racing, whether it's late model stock cars or in the ARCA car at Dover, you can see here the performance was just on point for him all race long.
Racing for that Pinnacle Racing team. Gets the win, and he gets the Miles the Monster. That's the trophy. It's one of the coolest trophies you see after he climbs the fence. So what do you guys think he did with the trophy?
He took it to dinner.
Probably went to
Waffle House. His favorite place. Fed old Miles some waffles. Now he's back here doing double duty. That's a lot. It is hot today, and he's bouncing back and forth. Yes, we didn't have qualifying here. We didn't have practice for the ARCA series, but he is back-to-back tonight in racing.
He's 17th quick in this session right now, but that last time by Regan, it was his 25th lap. We saw him slipping and sliding those back tires, and that 25th lap was a 25 flat, and that's really competitive. 26th lap, 24.82. So I think, you know, he doesn't run trucks that often, and I think getting the feel, getting the understanding of what he's looking for, we've seen him maxing the truck out, losing back grip, but then to be able to bounce right back and run that really fast lap, I'm impressed with what he's doing right now.
And something that he knows really well, Michael, to your point on all that, right? The short tracks and all the experience that he's had in the Cars Tour and other
and tire
series.
management.
And that is a tire management series, which is exactly what we're likely to see at some point tonight when you've got to really protect certain parts.
And remember, he's working with a brand new team. This is the first time he's racing for Spire. He's been with Tricon Garage his other 3 starts in the truck series, so a lot for him to adjust to.
Just making laps. That time by was his 28th lap around the racetrack. Corey Day's run the most laps at 44.
It's Andres Perez, 8th quick on the board.
That's a good performance for Andres.
And we talk about the lap times at, you know, lap 25 where Brendan Queen was, and you see Andres Perez right now, his most recent lap was a 24.92. So putting up some decent times as well for the amount of laps that are on these tires that he's got on right now.
He told me this is where he feels at home, on the short tracks. That's what he raced on growing up in Mexico City. That's what they race down there. So the big ovals are something he's really had to adjust to. Of course, he figured it out, won the ARCA Menard Series Championship last year, now running full-time as the rookie here in the Truck Series.
You know, it's as disappointing as it is that we didn't get to qualify and that they're going to line him up based on the matrix and everything. This is a really good opportunity for these truck drivers to go out there and get a 50-minute practice, and in particular the crew chiefs, right? And drivers that haven't seen this racetrack yet, to go out, make the laps, feel out what's going to happen, and you know, where their tires are going to go, where their trucks are going to go. And I'm a big fan of when that happens. Again, I'm disappointed that we didn't get to qualify, but I love these long practice sessions and what it means for the drivers.
Andres has put together 5 straight top 20 finishes, including a top 10 in the last 5 races. So he's beginning to flex a little bit of muscle and show that he knows what he's doing and what's going on.
It's AJ Waller in the 22, new face in the series, 2nd career start.
Right behind him, Connor Mozak in that Napa truck, dipping to the bottom.
Mozak says, "Excuse me, coming through."
There's that beautiful 81 Napa Night Vision truck. Connor's 18th quick. Last time by, he again ran in the 24.90 second bracket. I see a lot of parity. A lot of parity, Regan.
Matt Crafton, should be the driver with the most experience at this racetrack in a truck. And you know, Matt, one of the guys I was able to speak to earlier that really excited about racing here. We see his truck hopping around just a little bit, like his teammate Luke Fenhouse's truck was as well. And but just you could hear it in his voice about how much fun the track is to drive, and that you can move all around. And he's aware, right? He's outside the bubble looking in, and if he's in any kind of position tonight to get that win and lock himself into the playoffs, you better believe Matt's going to do whatever it takes.
Hey, am I seeing double? Those trucks look a lot alike.
Not just them. There are a lot of blue trucks, a lot of blue paint schemes. Good luck to the spotters tonight.
Look at that line. Corey Day's on really low on the racetrack, filling it out down there.
And I love what he's doing here, right? We saw him earlier on in practice, and he was running more of the traditional line that you would expect. And now he's down lower on the racetrack and working around to feel what that's going to be like. He's going to be down there at some point tonight. Every single one of these trucks will be down there, and you don't want to get caught off guard when you go down there and not know exactly what to expect, because it is so incredibly different when you go down to the flat part of that racetrack. It almost feels like it's off cambered, and like the truck's wanting to pitch out to the right and go the opposite direction.
Well, Regan, we're going to say 3 wide on the restarts. We're probably going to say 4 wide. Could we possibly say 5 wide? That's how racy this little track is.
My fear would be if we say 5 wide, there's going to be another word after there. Caution.
Well, that's all coming up tonight right here on FS1. 8 p.m. Eastern. We're looking forward to that. Don't blink. This race will fly by. 200 laps, 137 miles coming at you tonight. It's race 16 of 25 on the season.
Regan, I'm going to see if we can get you a lap or 2 here from this shot you love so much. Every time we get on it, he comes to pit road. Let's see what we got.
We're going to at least get a corner here, Michael. And as you hear it, you just have to, you're rolling it off into the corner. But when you want to go to the power, look at that. As soon as he goes to the gas pedal, the steering wheel goes to the right just a little bit. And that's what I think we would consider a good handling truck right now.
Listen to him squeeze it. Hear it? Finally wide open. That's just tickling that throttle.
And what you see Ty working on right there is the same thing that we saw in some of his win clips a little while ago. Just how can I get it turned to the bottom and get a little bit more power down, right, at both ends of the racetrack to be able to gain ground on your competitor. Because when you go to make passes tonight, you're not going to have that extra 7 feet up to the wall if you've got a truck on the outside of you. So you're going to have to really ask a lot out of your race vehicle there.
Look at Ben racing inside of Matt Mills there. Jack Wood comes into the picture. Ben really low on the racetrack. He's 11th quick on our pylon.
35 laps in for Ben Rhodes. And caution, there's some debris on the track. That'll bring the red out. Well, I'm sure they're all feeling a little sense of relief that weather moved on out. We've got this good practice session, got a good idea of how their trucks are handling. Some adjustments have been made. We'll step aside and resume practice in just moments.
Domino's Best Deal Ever is back. Get any hand-tossed pan, thin crust, or New York
course for the first time on a naval base.
Wow.
Guys, the way they laid it out was just incredible. It was like a movie trailer unveiling what was happening, and this is going to be a big day, a big weekend celebrating the 250th birthday of the United States, and all 3 series will race there, including the truckers. We're going to kick things off on Friday night, June 19th.
I had goosebumps just watching that again, and the same goosebumps I had when they announced it. And you see the aircraft carriers, Michael, and the fact that these guys are going to be racing on a naval base. There's going to be aircraft carriers, planes, you name it. It is going to be such a special event, and I'm excited already for it.
Yeah, NASCAR just continues to deliver for NASCAR fans all over our country, going to the Southern Cal, racing on the naval base. What a great honor it's going to be there and celebrate this great country of ours.
Tyler Ankrum, one of many drivers in the field from California. He's from San Bernardino, Southern California. You know, he's going to be excited. Get to go back home. We've been wanting a race back in Southern California. Of course, Fontana is no longer. We raced at the Coliseum in Los Angeles for a couple of years, so I know NASCAR's been looking at options, and we found one, and I think they hit a home run with that.
Tyler Ankrum in that 18 truck, he's second fastest to Corey Heim in the 15-lap average, so he's got that to hang his hat on. And plus, his fastest lap, Regan, it was on lap 3, which is later than everybody ahead of him. So he's going to look at those times and those numbers and say, hey, I think we're
okay
all right
here.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, we got a Cup superstar in the field. He actually made his National Series debut right here at this track. It's Mr. Ross Chastain.
Of course, and Jamie, that makes this a special place. You made your National Series debut here at this track. You had a chance to get out there for your 4th Truck Series start of the season. What did you think of the truck? You're going to be smashing some watermelons later tonight, or what?
I don't know, Josh. We've got plenty of Ileana watermelons. They're being harvested right now in the south, closer to the south end of the state, so from Indiana and Illinois. So it's really it's cool to be back at IRP, or whatever the name of this track is. I can't keep up, but you're right. I made my first start. I've got a very nostalgic memory of it. It's where my bucket list one race dream turned into a career. Was right here, running good here that night. So I think Wally Rogers and our Nice team, they brought a truck that can compete. The track has no grip. Like it's just so cool to be on a truck on a track like this. These tracks like this are what the Truck Series was built for. I wish we ran places like this more often. It's a lot of fun. Park throttle, light on the brake pedal, a lot of off throttle time. So, yeah, for our Nice team here, it's ready to press the attack tonight.
Good luck out there tonight, Ross. Jamie?
Well, I think that was the perfect promo for tonight, set up tonight. This is the type of track you want to watch. It's what the Truck Series was built on.
Everything we've talked about, Regan, squeezing the gas down, easy on the brakes, bouncing around these corners, a lot of off throttle time. Ross summed everything up perfect. And plus, he told us about the Ileana watermelons. We've had Maryland melons, and it's Ileana, that's Indiana and Illinois. It's not Indiucky, which would be Indiana and Kentucky.
I was wondering what that was, Michael. I'm glad that you just got that explained to me, because I was scratching my head a little bit as to what was going on with the watermelons there. But certainly Ross will be fun to watch tonight, and who knows, maybe he will smash one of those.
But this nice 50-minute practice session for these drivers, 50 laps and counting for Toni Breidinger. It's her first Truck Series race here, but she has 3 ARCA starts.
Look at that.
Multiple USAC and Silver Crown starts here as well.
Right down to the bottom of the racetrack. That's something that you said it earlier, Regan. You got to do that, because there's going to be a time of this race where you're going to want to get down that low. So you got to see what it feels like.
Yeah, and I love what they're doing with Toni right here, running a lot of laps, right, and moving her all over the racetrack. But the laps are going to be the key. That's what's going to help a young driver out that's trying to figure out the track. I see she's 4th on the list of most laps right now. Corey Day is top on that list with 60 laps run. Another driver that needs to see the track, that needs to understand what's going to take place. And that's the beauty of this long practice session. If it was 25 minutes, they wouldn't have had that opportunity. So I know, as I said earlier in the show, they wanted to qualify, but guess what? There is some good to not qualifying also.
Stuart Friesen, Dawson Sutton racing down the front straightaway.
Currently 27th, as you see right there, for Dawson Sutton, and certainly would like to see Dawson maybe get up there and have another strong run. It's been a little bit of a dry spell for him in that 26 team, and I think really had a lot of high hopes for him as this season
strong.
started. Yeah, and just seems like it's been a little bit of a struggle here to continue up with that with the pace that he started off with.
Just a little over 4 minutes remaining in this practice session as these truckers get ready for tonight's race at 8 p.m. Eastern. Here's Spencer Boyd, the St. Louis, Missouri driver.
Marketing genius is Spencer Boyd. Always has great social media presence with the sponsors. The auto store, my auto store that he has on the truck here this weekend, just does a great job of marketing and promoting this team so he can go out and do what he loves to do, which is drive.
Freedom Racing Enterprises is his team. I mean, we always talk about the effort he puts in, but I just can't imagine wearing all those hats. Michael, you mentioned it. He's out there selling it and getting sponsorships, and then he has to get behind the wheel like this and turn laps at this awesome track that we like to call IRP.
Like Ross said, we've called it a lot of things over the years, but it's IRP to me. That's how I grew up. This was one of the greatest short track races in America back in the day, and I know how much it means to these short track racers. Our truckers are predominantly guys that came off quarter miles and half miles around the country, and they're loving being back here.
And Finger still out making laps right now, and top of the board. We've noted that numerous times that he's been very quick. We heard Josh's report earlier in the show about how happy he was with that truck, and now we see him, as we keep mentioning, on the bottom. And you know, I think something else we're going to have to keep an eye out for tonight, Michael, is going to be, where does that rubber move around, right? How quick does a lane maybe get wore out because too many trucks are running it, and then you end up in a different lane? And I think that's the other unique part of IRP that we have not talked about quite yet, is the way that it does take and will take the rubber tonight. It might work on the bottom for 10 laps, but then you might have to go to the very top for 10 laps as that rubber moves around, and then you may be back in the middle again. And it's just simply searching for where the cleanest part of the racetrack is.
I think there could be a bit of concern for Grant Enfinger. We talk about him being fastest on the single lap run, but he doesn't show up anywhere in our 5 or 10, even 15 lap averages. So obviously the fall off was great earlier, and that's why he's just out there just running right now, making sure that they've made the proper adjustments so that truck not only has fast single lap speed, but he can get it done in the long run.
Michael, do you want to break it to the fans? Who does own all of those categories right now?
I'll just if you watch the truck races, just guess. and you're not going to miss it far, I promise. Corey Day has been the story of 2025. The most dominant season.
You mean Corey Heim?
Yeah.
Him too.
Yeah, that's who I meant.
Thought we did an old bait and switch real quick.
I thought I would just trick everybody into thinking maybe somebody besides Corey Heim was the fastest, but it's Corey Heim.
Corey Heim, fastest 5, 10, and 15 lap averages. He's never won here before. Best finish of 5th. See if he could figure it out tonight. He seems to figure it out everywhere we go. There he is. Talking to Scott Zipadelli. Talked to Scott earlier today, and I asked him kind of their game plan coming into this place. Anywhere they haven't won before, what are you going to do differently? And he said, well, we've changed everything this year. How my driver is driving. He's changed a lot about himself, his style, and how he attacks these tracks. And I've changed my setups. And so far, it's worked at most places. So he's hoping that what they brought here, that change from last year, is the key.
Well, I would say to this point in the season, whatever those changes were, if they could perhaps bottle a little bit of that up and maybe sell it in the garage, they could probably fund their racing for an entire year based on that.
Well, he's not only fastest in the 15 lap average, he has a quarter of a second over second fastest, and that's just huge on a short track. So you saw those two guys standing there. They looked very confident. They are very confident.
There's Butterbean again. Talked about him doing double duty. He's one of 3 drivers doing the Arkham and Art Series race that's coming up at 5:30 Eastern on Fox Sports. Brent Cruz will be in the field, as well as Cody Dennison. So a long, fun, exciting night ahead for those 3 drivers.
And you talk about how warm it's going to be for those drivers, Jamie, and how they're going to have to do the right stuff between the 2 races as we see the red and black flags coming out to signify the end of practice. But they're going to have to do the right stuff. They're going to have to make sure that they get some fluids inside themselves, right? Make sure that they're not going to get tired as the night goes on, because it will be a little bit of a grind, but they also have all those laps in a race prior to this one to be able to learn.
Should be very beneficial for them. All right, so Grant Enfinger, all practice long, he remained up top. Corey Heim behind him, Caden Honeycutt, Tanner Gray, and Gio Ruggiero, your top 5. So now they have some time to think about things. They can make minimal adjustments and look forward to tonight's race.
Ty Majeski, another solid practice session. Brent Cruz, great job for that young racer. A guy that I'm going to keep my eye on tonight, number 34, 9th fastest in this session, Lane Riggs. I think he's going to have a lot to say about whether Corey Heim gets another win or not.
Surprised Chandler Smith isn't in the top 10. Wonder where he stands, what he liked or didn't like about his truck. Let's hear from the fastest man in Indianapolis so far, Josh.
That's right. You see Grant Enfinger over here debriefing with his team. And Grant, fastest one in practice out there. I know you got to the point where you're trying to look ahead to tonight and see what you would need. What did you learn about your truck and what you'll need later on tonight?
I don't know. This place changes so quick. So we went out early. I think the track was a little cooler at that point. So overall, I think we got a good Champion Power Equipment Chevrolet. I think we got a contender. I don't know if we got the best truck out there, but I think we're a little bit better than we were last year. Rolling the center a little bit. Always wanted that little extra. So Jeff still made about 5 or 6 stabs at it. I think 2 or 3 of them I feel confident in for tonight. But yeah, this a fun place. Going to change a lot. We fell off, a second and a half there in practice. So I expect more of that tonight.
You've had such a good season so far, and still you're not safe when it comes to that postseason picture. How much pressure do you put on yourself, especially when you have a truck that seems like it could be a truck that has a chance to win tonight?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we've unloaded better here today than we have the last few races, I feel like. I think we truly, if we make the right adjustments, have the right things go our way, I think we have something we can win with. So we're going to focus on that. But we can't throw caution to the wind. We do need to play it safe a little bit from a strategy standpoint. But we can't be too safe. I guess we're 6 in points, but the way we're seated, we're barely in. So, we've got to keep our foot down and work hard tonight. And like I said, I feel like we got something to work with.
Grant looking for win number 2 here at IRP, Jamie.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty good about things. And he mentioned that playoff picture and where he stacks up right now. You see 9th, 64 points to the good for Grant Enfinger. But, of course, nothing would be better than just winning, locking yourself in there.
I think that all 3 of those drivers, whether it's Grant Enfinger, Caden Honeycutt, or Ty Majeski on that cut line, they're
nervous.
They're nervous, but they also just want to go win one of these, and then you don't have to be nervous anymore. That's the best thing that you can do, and quite honestly, all 3 of those trucks could be capable of winning tonight, and that's what's going to make it so much fun.
You know what's great to say? As good as they've been all year long, you can see they're 8th, 9th, 10th in the points. They're nervous. That's how competitive things are, and that's how important it is for one of those 3 trucks to go out and grab the win. I talked about us talking to Majeski earlier today. He's in, but he could be out just as quickly, and he knows getting to victory lane will fix all that.
Well, I mentioned Chandler Smith. Didn't talk a whole lot about him. 16th quick on the board. Let's hear from him.
Jamie, Chandler's won the last 2 short tracks this season, but it sounds like you told the team you got some work to do to get this truck where it needs to be. What work needs to be done? What do you need?
Yeah, we missed it a little bit on our number 38 Rule King Ford F-150. But honestly, at practice at Wilkesboro, even though the timesheet didn't say it, we weren't really great there either. So I'm confident everybody that we got on this number 38 team here, and can't forget the hat. Gotta get that Rule King rep in. But so yeah, anyways, I'm confident everybody. I know we'll be able to hopefully make the right changes to get tuned up for this night race, and hopefully put on a good show for everybody back at home and the fans here in Indy.
Thanks, and good luck, Chandler.
I like how he slid in the sponsor right there. Well done there, Chandler. Let's take a look at our starting lineup set by the metric. Because of that weather earlier, qualifying was canceled. So for the 6th time this season, Corey Heim will lead the field to green. Ty Majeski on the outside. I know, Regan, you're a big fan of this front row. It's going to be good to start.
I just think you're looking at 2 drivers that, in particular at this racetrack, are going to be a lot of fun to watch. And then you don't have to go far. And Chandler Smith, who we just talked to, yeah, maybe they missed it just a little bit, but starting inside of row 3, he's going to have that track position to start the race off. That's going to be good for him.
Caden Honeycutt, he's a guy that we know is on the verge of going to victory lane. Could he do it here tonight in Indianapolis?
A lot of wild cards right here on this page. Brent Cruz, Brendan Queen, Corey Day, all these guys that we know are so good on this style of track.
Don't sleep on Tanner Gray. Very, very quick in practice in the 10-lap averages, so obviously has that truck working well into his liking right now. Jeff Hensley, always good when we go to the short tracks and putting a good truck under his team, or driver.
Got a new driver in the field, Boston Oliver. He's going to be starting out back in that 74 truck, but it's good to see fresh faces here.
Yeah, looking forward to everything coming up in just a few hours. There's Ben Rhodes. You could see how hot it is. I mean, it's 90 plus right now, plus the humidity.
Between Chandler Smith as he got out of his truck, and you could tell how much he was sweating. And some of the crew guys that were behind Grant Enfinger there, you can tell that it's going to be a warm and muggy one tonight.
I love that. The
I do
Just
too.
Married for Mr. Honeycutt. Great weekend, and he's continued that with some great speed here at IRP.
That's how drivers talk right there, Regan. Bouncing to the left.
Don't tie his hands. Don't tie his hands. He won't be able to talk.
That's your love language right there. A lot of action still to come right here on FS1. The Calypso 150 Arca Menard Series 530, and we'll be back here at 8 o'clock for Michael Waltrip.